When looking at the list of the highest star rating maps, you'll come across a few very strange entries. These weird maps each have a difficulty, labeled with the word tag, which is upwards of 9, 10, or even 11 stars, yet were ranked from 2009 to 2011. The maps themselves have some very mundane looking patterns separated by many new combos, with sections which greatly increase in spacing to an absurd degree. Looking deeper, the tag difficulties are all loved, while every other difficulty in the sets are ranked, something that no other ranked maps have. You may have heard about tag or tag 4 maps in passing, but to get the full story, we have to go back more than a decade. Tag team multiplayer was added to the game in December of 2008. In this mode, only one player is able to hit notes at a time, and after each new combo this rotates to the next person in the lobby, just as the namesake suggests. The release of Tag allowed everyone to enjoy multiplayer in a completely new way, but this wouldn't stop the best of the best from attempting solo runs on these maps for show. DJ Pop would be the first and most successful tag mapper, creating the first of many tag-specific maps which, in his own words, could only be played by 4 people. To get an idea of what these maps are like, I'll go over each of them in chronological ranking order and show a clip of the craziest tag sections. Barusa of Mikosu would be the very first tag map pushed for approval by DJ Pop, meaning the set would have a leaderboard but not reward ranked score for the time being. Even Peppy would end up trying this map out, and after some minor changes, the map would end up in the approved section at last in February 2009. Later in the year, the same would happen for DJ Pop's Unoen wa Kanojo Nanoka Nico Megamix, another tag 4 map. This map is quite famous as it, for a long time, was the highest star rating map in the game, due to its incredible spacing, making it a staple, quote-unquote, impossible map. DJ Pop followed these up with a relatively easier, yet still extremely difficult tag 4 map of Don't Say Lazy, Fulver. A few players have gotten very good scores on this one, and this may be the next tag map to be full comboed with enough attempts. In September, legendary mapper Lesia would take his own shot at approving a tag map with his rendition of Strange Program. Although not as spacing intensive as the others, the patterns would be hard enough for players of the time and still offers a challenge to players today. Returning once more, DJ Pop would get Utage wa Ain ni SHD Tag 4 approved only 10 days after the last tag map. This one featured the classic, over-the-top, inhuman tag jump patterns once again. The only ranked Tag 2 map is a DJ Pop rendition of Renai Circulation Fulver, which was approved in March 2010. Being Tag 2, this is much easier than any of the other tags actually, and has many double time FCs from over the years. DJ Pop came back once again with his last tag set, a map of Night of Nights Tag 4 in May 2010. Very much reminiscent of Barusa of Mikosu, this map contains the same types of patterns while still upping the difficulty. Almost a year would pass until Louis Cypher would come in with his own set of Chirno's Perfect Math class, with his first and only approved tag map. This is, as of current, the only tag 4 map with no mod full combos, and even a high accuracy hidden FC from -GN. That is, every tag map that was ever ranked in OS. By the time that the PP system became favored over score, tag maps would be put in a unique position due to being approved. They would now reward ranked score as well as PP going forward, but by and large these maps were so difficult that no one could gain much of either from them. As players began to grow better, a way to abuse these maps for PP was finally found: touchscreen. Touchscreen can make jumps, especially those that are repetitive, much easier, at the cost of finger control and making hitting faster stacked patterns harder. The biggest offender of the tag maps would be Unoen wa Kanojo Nanoka Nico Megamix, with its quick corner jumps in the start to bring up the star rating. While there were several touchscreen players going for scores on tag 4 maps, the one that made the biggest impact was cuffster. Cuffster wasn't a high-ranked player, but after this, he ended up gaining a lot of PP. There was massive untapped potential for many tag maps, even with difficulty-reducing mods, because the star rating was just so high. Utilizing the exact map mentioned before and playing with easy in halftime along with his touchscreen laptop, Cuffster would try many times, getting better and better runs. This all came together on February 1st, 2015, when he would get 577 PP for his 93.39% one miss score, which was the highest PP play at the time by a significant amount. Seeing that touchscreen players would be able to abuse maps like this further, OS staff knew something needed to be done. There was no easy way to detect if someone was using touchscreen at the time, and it seemed to only be an issue for tag maps, so the solution was clear. They opted to create a new category of map, where maps would keep a leaderboard but not reward any PP, which turned into what we know as the loved category. That's pretty much the basics of the once ranked maps meant to be played by 4 people. Top players still try for scores on these all the time, since they are first and foremost challenges for a single person, and they are the de facto maps to play in tag multiplayer. Their status has also inspired others to map their own tag maps, some of which have also ended up being loved as well. At the end of the day, all of these maps now sit in the loved category as relics of the past with lots of interesting history behind them.